Hi guys, what's going on, and welcome back to another episode of Oriental Empires as we try and slowly conquer the Mongolian steppe with Genghis Khan. So, for those of you who've been following me so far, this really isn't, well, it's not supposed to be a Let's Play, although it slowly seems to be turning into one. But it's actually, initially I just did this as a review of the game, but I really enjoyed it, so I played another episode, and then it kind of seems to expand from there. But if you remember last time, things were going pretty well, and I've managed to establish this really nice trade network, which is giving us an absolutely awesome per turn income. It's the first time I've ever really had this in this game go so nicely. That's really starting to make things look up now. Obviously, we are at war with a lot of people. A couple of forces kicking around on the outskirts here, but nothing that's really deeply threatening to me that I'm actively concerned about. So I'm not really too worried about that. Ironically, my capital here is kind of disconnected from my trade network, because a capital here, but then I captured Ulan from the Makit tribe, and it's actually proved to be a lot better for me as a capital, and this is my central trade hub. This is where all my money is made, basically, at this city. I'm making 800 per turn in income here for pretty much low expenses, which is great because it's all coming from trade, because we're shipping away copper and pottery, which are our two main exports. A little bit of clothes as well get exported. So to improve next, what are we going to do? Well, one, we may get a story mission at some point. This is, it's both a open play campaign, but it's also slightly story driven by the life of Genghis Khan, which affects things. And here is Genghis Khan. Temujin is Genghis Khan as we know him. So is what I'm thinking about if I don't get a story mission next. Kar Balagas is my largest city, or one of my largest cities, but it's not so profitable. But it's becoming increasingly my militarist city, where we're just investing heavily in upgraded buildings, military buildings. And then I suspect I'm going to launch an assault against Mogd Khan here, and this will probably connect my capital then properly into the trade network. They've also got quite a lot of nice roads as well, which I'll capitalise on. So I think that's going to suit me quite nicely to connect everything up properly, and we can get trade flowing even better and expand our empire from there. So with that in mind, let's have a little look at Kar Balgas maybe, and what buildings we're going to build from here. So we've built a lot of military buildings already. You can see we've already got an enormous armor works, which is what's providing our militia with such good body armor. We've got a bower, a barracks, and a weaponsmith. So things are all looking pretty nice. I've kind of got two options going next. A foundry doesn't actually provide any direct benefit. It just produces bronze, mostly for trade, but it does allow the access of some better buildings like the armor factory later on. Stables, again, does provide some better horse units, but we have some pretty good horse archers already. So I'm thinking, since I've never actually ever built one, about building an artillery camp, just because I have no idea how artillery really plays in this game, so I thought that'd be kind of cool. And it's only 500 gold outlay, so I thought that was worthwhile. Because I also wanted to point out, at this city, we have these rammed earth walls, which are kind of significantly improvement over some of the other things we've got. Whereas my main trading city of Ulan, I've never had the walls built, and they cost 2,000. So we're still building at the moment, so we've got sort of another couple of turns, but I want to save up to get these rammed earth walls because I think they're going to be a worthwhile addition sort of upgrading, because then they really don't cost any upkeep to have once we've got them built, so I think it's worthwhile having done. And that's pretty much it for this turn. I've got everywhere else already set up doing their farms, everything that I want to. So yeah, next turn. Stack without orders. Yeah, that's this stack here. That's Genghis Khan himself. I just kind of wanted to see what these people were doing. I've got one of my generals out down the bottom, just having a bit of an explore. This guy down here kind of figuring out where all the enemy cities are. Okay, look, there's an enemy completely ungarrisoned city here. Gekun. Yeah, the part of the Katit Khanate. See, most of their cities tend to be garrisoned. I think they probably didn't expect me to be venturing this far south. So they haven't really got a garrison here. I reckon my little small army of my Truman horse archers will probably be able to take Gekun. I'm probably going to issue that as an attack command. It's not got any walls. It's just a soft settlement, soft target. You see, like these. This example is a walled city. This isn't walled, but it has a large garrison. You see, this is walled. So you can see how they're much harder to take. You know, you have to actually burn through the walls. You can actually take heavy losses. Whereas Gekun here should be pretty easy for us to take. And we'll explore a bit more territory at the same time. I don't think, if I capture it, I don't think I would keep it as a city of mine. I'd probably just burn it to the ground. Partly because we now have terror tactics, and I kind of want to see what that happens with the Mongols. But there's really no benefit to me keeping it. It's out too far away from any of my cities to be useful. So we had a whole string of farms built and a bit of road. So let's have a little look at that on our cities first. So we had a farm built here, so I'm just going around building farms more because that's increasing the size or the population growth potential of the city, which is certainly a good thing. Ulanud is currently building a farm. The river needs to chop down some more forest to get access to places where it can farm. Over here, you can't farm. You were road building at one point. You've finished your roads everywhere you can. I think you probably have, haven't you? Everywhere you're reasonably going to be able to get them. So there's not a lot of point in building anything else there. Where would be worthwhile to chop down some forest perhaps around there. This is obviously my capital, which is just in a completely worthless bit of land. They can't achieve anything. Over here, there's nothing to be built. Maybe we can clear some land, or we could build some roads. Why does that block? Oh, because it connects to the existing road network. Okay, that's fine. It'll build that takes 4 turns, so that'll keep us fairly busy for a while. Our palace should be being built at Ulanud. It is 1 more turn, and that'll be finished. I may then get enough. Yeah, hopefully then get enough to then set off the walls in the next turn at Ulanud. And it takes 6 turns to actually build them, so it's quite a long time. Small enemy army there, but I've no real need to engage it with my with Genghis Khan, to be honest. So we'll just leave them to it. They've got their attack orders. I think that's everything, really. Next turn. Yeah, they've captured that pretty much unopposed. Nice job. Okay, good for us. So, city captured. Gekun. Must decide its fate. Yep, I'm just going to destroy it. If I sack it, what do I get? 165. Yeah, I don't really want it. There we go. So it should have been burnt to the ground, which it has. Completely gone, and that gave me a nice little bit of money as well. Our finances obviously have dropped off a little bit there because we have added in that artillery camp, which is now costing us 80 per turn. Oh, looks like there's a plague broken out there as well. I don't know if there's nomad settlers there. That's not so good for us. So we've finished our palace down here. Let's get these walls set off, even though it's going to be an expensive, put us pretty much completely bankrupt by doing that. Let's have a look in here as well. Okay, so has it built the artillery camp? Yeah. So what does that enable us to recruit? So you see here, we're getting a really good selection pool of stuff here now. So artillery. I actually have to pay to build them in the first place. A whirlwind or a crouching tiger. It can be used to demolish palisades and wooden superstructures, or to fling incendiaries against buildings or troops. Cool. Well, I certainly want myself one of them at some point. So that's probably going to be next on the purchasing list. And then we'll send the whole lot against Genghis Khan. Because it's only got sort of peasant-like spearmen, tribal spearmen. Nothing I think is going to be a massive problem for us to deal with. I hope. I hope. More than anything. Okay, let's keep pushing along. I see there's actually another enemy settlement bordering here. I'm just kind of exploring as much as anything to find out what we're going to come up against. Oh yeah, we also finished our palace at Ulanud, which is going to cost us, what, about 80 per turn, I think? So it is easy. You've got to be careful because 40 per turn, not so bad. But with the 80 per turn of the artillery camp, it's 120 gold per turn spent just on building 2 buildings on the turn upkeep. You can soon lose your nice profit-loss margins if you build buildings too quickly, you know, before your settlement is ready. You do have to be careful about that, quite significantly so. I might send these heavy spearmen across the river. Okay, I don't think there's anything else really to do this turn, so let's head into the next turn. And they're venturing across there to see what they can find. Heavy spearmen are going to join up with these guys. I don't know if they've got a full stack. If they have, I'll drop probably one of the archers. No, probably that. I'll drop someone back towards the city, probably one of these archers. So we've got a farm built and some roads. Let's have a look what's got built there. So farm-wise, what have we got? I think every farm I can build has been built, so it's now just upgrading them to irrigated farmland. I think the safest bit of the land I own is this far river over here, because it's bordered by the cities over here. There's no real enemies this side that I know of yet. I think that's pretty safe over there. Ulanud's going over here. They've started construction on their high defensive walls. And they can upgrade some farms as well, or build some more farms. Let's build farms there. The river. Not really a lot I can do here. It's a really hard place to find land for building farms. They're chopping down some forests, that's okay. So are they. You're a worthless settlement. And you're building some roads, I think. Yes, you are. Wonderful. Okay, looking good. They'll join up next turn. What did you find over here? Oh, another ungarrisoned city. Oh, we're getting right into the heartland of all their ungarrisoned cities, although they have got the plague. We'll be a bit careful about finding places like this. Still, we should carry on. We'll continue to cause our terror. That is what we are supposed to be doing. That's why it's so important to maintain like a frontier, or at least at the very least wall your cities, because it really makes a difference to their sort of sturdiness in the long term. So, city captured, crush it. I don't have to settle sack some of these because we do get quite a decent amount. Well, we don't actually get that much loot. No, what am I talking about? You don't get that much loot. It is not worth it. Okay, we'll start to head over here. I want to fill in this gap here so I know what I'm surrounding then, and then we pretty much then surround these settlements that are my long-term goals. So we built a road and we cleared some rubbish. So you can't join with you by the looks of it then. So let's pick a unit of archers, specifically you. You're going to stay there, and then hopefully those two will swap over. If they do, that's interesting, and then we know how it works then. Because I kind of want to get that unit of heavy spearmen, because they're extra armoured heavy spears, because they've got the armour factory in the city. They should be... Jesus, look at them. Look at these badass guys. Yeah, nice. They've got the proper armour. They're going to hold out. They're going to do some damage. That is what do we want. And then we're going to get our artillery in there once we get the money as well. So we should be looking pretty good. Not really a lot to do this turn. I do think, it did occur to me, this is my one unwalled city, Uda River. It's not a massively important city, to be honest. It's got a lot of people there. Maybe we should wall it. It's only 750. Probably be a wise thing to do, wouldn't it? I have no intention of giving up that city specifically, so... I think walling it's probably the right thing to do. At some point, I need to upgrade this copper mine to a super deep copper mine as well. That's one list on a very long list of tasks I forgot to do and need money for. So you move out and that moves in. Okay, I get it now. So it is a full stack, these guys. Okay, there's a river here. We could, of course, give this guy... we'll collect up this unit of archers with this second army, actually. Go there, look. It's really going to fill in all our middle land and of what we know, do and don't own, which is going to be nice for us. So finishing a farm at Ulan Ood. Let's get you built down there. Bad. Oh, you do have a little bit of farm down there. No farm for you. You were just building roads. Have you finished road building? Yes, in effect, you have. Nice job. It's a shame you can't build a road where I want you to be able to build a road, which is here. Quite fit. I just wonder if it really connects up to the city properly. I'll set you to do that. It won't do any harm, will it? Okay. So that's all good. Road, farm, we know about that. Return income, we're not quite ready yet. We want to, when next term, we're probably going to recruit our siege engines. Does it take any time to build? I don't think it does. We'll get that built next turn and start to send that over to the army, and then we're pretty much ready to go against Bogged Khan. I think we'll probably get this in this episode, hopefully. So, we want to be quick. So, next turn, next turn, next turn. Where's the turn button gone? Back without orders, I know. Nothing much going on. We're just exploring with this army here. I'll probably bring this guy up, collect these unit of archers. At least it's going to give me a little bit of extra support as well. Okay, so we've got the money. We're looking good. Not actually that expensive per turn, this siege equipment, which is pretty nice. Let's recruit a crouching tiger. Flick back out of that. Just select you. Get you over there. So it's going to take 2 turns for you just to cross the river anyway. And the garrison shouldn't be doing anything, which they're not. Uda River built a farm. Oh, okay, you keep running out of room for farms, don't you? Let's keep chopping down some more trees. You're finding fertile farmland sort of further back. Karbala Gas is doing what I want you to do. I don't know how to make more money from Ulanu, but I've still got another 2 turns before I finish this anyway. gonna have to do a lot more stuff to get it upgraded. Because I want to get this place a bit better. Because it's going to be my wants to be making more and more profit. Particularly as it's got things like the market now, which really upgrade how much money it makes. We could make a market at Balagas, maybe. Option. I don't know how effective it will be. Can be a bit complicated, the economics of this game. If you watch some of the previous videos, you'll know. Okay, straight into the next turn. Oh, I should have moved this. Got him. Okay, so they're now across the river. So we'll have to swap out another unit on this army to get the guys in. Who are we going to take out? A horse archer. And they are quite experienced in my horse archers. But then we need the archers to break through the walls. A unit of crappy spearmen. You know, having good quality tribal like spearmen is no bad thing. Oh, I just don't know. We'll drop a unit of archers. Then go to the supporting army. Bring the artillery in here. And then next turn, this whole lot is going to cross this river and advance on the enemy. On the enemy! And they shall die. We built our little wooden palisade there. That was a worthwhile 750 investment, I think, to be honest. It may seem expensive, but I think it's probably worthwhile. Probably not got enough money to really build a lot here that I want. I don't really understand these caravanseries. Long distance trade. Allows imported trade items to be exported. So unclear. Just don't really get it. Get a theatre. These things don't really peasant unrest. Well, it's not a problem anyway. Granary, not a lot of use. No, we need these things like a ceramics factory. Why can't I build that more money? Well, I'll perhaps build that next. That'll be a worthwhile thing. Only 1,500. 150 per turn. It is expensive. No, very expensive actually. But we have quite a significant trade network with this place now, so probably worth it. Well, let's just have a quick look. I know we're going to go to war in a minute. That was the main point of this episode. How much is my pottery trade worth? There, you see 74 there. 35, 34. We do a fair chuck from ceramics. It's probably kind of worth it, to be honest. I think so, anyway. Okay, let's get all this stuff swapped around. I'm going to do the okey-cokey and move around. And then we'll bring our general up to make our sort of second supporting army. Nice. And we've built our round earth wall at Oud and Oud. And look at that. Now it's a proper defensive settlement. It should really be able to hold out from more than anything but sort of determined sieges. So it's what we go for next then. Interestingly, need more room for an iron foundry. Do we build the ceramics factory? 1,500. I'm just trying to work out if it's worth it or not. Produce ceramics for trade. Well, we'll do it. It's always a good exercise in whether it's worthwhile, isn't it? We're making 599 from an external trade. Going to be an expensive lesson if that turns out to be wrong, because 150 per turn loss will be quite painful. Okay, now we've got our mass armies. Let's get across the river, basically. Oh, you'll have to do it in 2 turns. But there we go. And that's really all I've got to do. Oh no, I've got a few farming stuff to set up. We're getting some of these farms upgraded to irrigated farms. Pretty much the same with Ulanud. You are still chopping down a forest. You know where to build, so you need to chop down a forest as well. Oh, it's a crappy capital. You were building a road, but I guess you've now finished, so you might as well chop down this bit of forest. Bang him. Nice. This bloody phone keeps going off. Honestly, don't keep checking your phones. It's mine. Okay, next next turn. What are we engaging here? I didn't even look. Oh, a nomad settler. Oh dear, he's just got the entire Mongolian horde is coming after a couple of villages with backpacks stood in a river. I mean, what chance do they stand? Killed by everything, and then they're getting charged by units. Some units of very heavily armoured spearmen. Not unsurprisingly, they routed from the field. So everyone is crossing the river. Okay, disease in Duan. Okay. You're a fairly long way away. Not a massive problem to me. I do need to keep an eye on that we don't get... Ooh. Where did you come from? A very large army, isn't it? We may just start a bit of recruitment here. Yeah, and it's going to cost me in the long term with that upkeep. It's going to cost me another 60 per turn. But I think having just at least some sort of an army here probably won't do us any harm. You're going to have to go against them. I mean, your goal is basically the same. They're there to support. We may end up getting caught up against this bodyguard and tribal light spearman in the next turn, but we shall see. Everyone else is okay. I seem you're all pretty well rested. You're in good condition and everything, which you are. Okay, we're looking pretty nice. Next turn. Yeah, obviously we're getting caught up against these settlers here. Those guys are staying put, so it doesn't look like we're going to get caught up against them. I mean, there's really nothing to show here. They're just going to get cut down by archer fire. I think I got caught up a second time. Those poor people. Just die. It's inevitable. I suspect they're rat at that. Yeah, they have. Lost a lot. I'm even got a little bit of money looting some of the ground. Now, what's this army here? Ah, they are coming. Ooh. Oh, I really hadn't banked on this. Okay, so this leaves us with a couple of problems. One, sieges can be a bit weird in this game. You know, you can end up getting low morale and surrendering pretty easily. Hostile armies in this settlement land, I know. Got some Truman heavy cavalry. Let's get both of them in. What have we got? One more slot. I'm going to go for some horse archers. What I'm going to do. For better or for worse, I don't like relying on the way the siege mechanics work in this game. Obviously, I don't want Genghis Khan's family involved in this fight. I'm going to take my horse archers and my tribal light spearmen, and I am going to sally forth, basically, and attack. If it goes wrong, they're not immediately going to capture the city. It's going to give me time. In an ideal world, we'll drive the bulk of these guys off, or at least cause some heavy damage to them over the course of this battle, in which case, you know, we're driving a threat away. I think it's the right thing to do. I hope. We shall see. Okay, we're going to go the siege on Bogd Khan next turn as well. There's going to be two big battles going on. Nowhere else has got any immediate military threats, I don't think. It doesn't look like, certainly, anyway. Obviously, we're building our thing here. Should be 3 turns left, which it does. Nice. Building farms there. Through the river. Have you got any more room to build a farm? You have. And you're cutting down trees and everything. Anyway, so let's do it then. So firstly, this battle here. Our army is coming out of the city. We should get a lot of arrows off against the first people. And of course our siege is getting involved. I'm curious to see how what this artillery does if it turns up. Oh, artillery's on the field. I don't see this fire. I know there's another important battle going on as well. Ooh, nice. How goes this battle here? Honestly say, I don't even know what's going on. Oh, one of our units is routing there, but then so is one of theirs. Some more of our units are now starting to rout. We're perhaps struggling a little bit. Well, horse archers are obviously trying to get damage in against some of the enemy infantry units, the tribal light spearmen, but they're going to get involved in combat. We still have got these heavy Truman cavalry, I would have thought would be pretty good. Our reinforcing army has turned up for the siege. And are we sending in our heavy spears are going in? These should be able to cut through these light spearmen pretty easily. Because these are pretty elite heavy spearmen now, well armoured. I've given them the best equipment they can get. Come on guys, do me proud. I think they will, as long as we don't run out of time this turn. Looks like we're actually doing pretty well. Wow, it's a slaughter. Jeez. Our cavalry are now going to face another lot. We're still getting, one of them's routed. We've just got one enemy unit left. We'll have to fight our cavalry. I think we're going to get this one in the bag. And our capital then is safe. It's nice that you can do that last minute recruitment. Well, it's nice when you're under attack anyway. That's gone pretty well. This episode's turning into a long one. And it looks like our siege is generally going pretty well, I would have said. We're cutting through these enemy units here. We're getting missile support. I think our artillery is keeping up a base of fire, which it is. Taking out the enemy defensive towers as well, so they don't keep shooting us. I might see this on fast forward because it's going to be a long battle. Yeah, we're really starting to cut these troops down there. There we go. They've surrendered, I think. Have they surrendered? No, perhaps they haven't this turn. No, we're going to have to be another turn. It's going to be a stage 2 siege. Right, let's have a look. Leader died. Okay. Has died a heroic death in battle. That's a shame. He's one of my good generals. Disease outbreak. Ood. Army efficiency reduced. Peasant unrest. Okay, that's good. That's not good because our military income has dropped. We've cleared some things. We have burnt and pillaged some farms. Let's have a look at the battle reports. Also, we easily lost less people. That's nice for us. Okay, it's going to take a long time before we can recruit more people out there. I'm going to chase them across the river. I want to flatten this army if I can. Because what I'm going to do is send one badly diminished unit of horse archers back to the city so that they are not, it's not completely ungarrisoned. Because I think we've beaten a lot of this unit down, so I don't think it's going to be that hard next time because we killed so many of them to deal with. So hopefully when this army crosses, we should be able to kill them pretty easily. So we've got also the battle report. Indecisive battle, but we easily killed a lot more than we took in terms of casualties. If we have a look at our main army here, now our guard spearmen didn't even take that many casualties, gained 2 ranks of experience in one battle. Nice. So I think next turn we are pretty much decisively going to win this fight here. So let's just do it. I want to know now. So we've got our siege of Bogd Khan. What are they doing? Are they actually going to go in? Or have they actually just surrendered now? Has it become too much? The second turn of siege. The battle over here, how's this going on? Looking good. Most of them are routing already. Look, our heavy cavalry, our Truman horsemen, heavy horse archers have gone straight in. And with the amount of arrow fire and support, you know, it's pretty decisive because that's why I like all those heavy cavalry that you get. Because they're both good melee combat units and they get that sort of the archers. The traditional Mongol horse archers. We're cutting these guys down. Look, they're down to 91 already. Looks like we are occupying the city, I think. Yeah, I think it's fallen. Our troops are marching in. It's like a Star Wars profession's parade. Nice. And we've won there. Okay, that was a really good moment. So you can chase them down. City captured. Bogd Khan. Okay, so in the short term we have taken a bit of a military loss because we've got the upkeep costs of this city, but we're not going to get any benefit from it. We'll take a lot if we attack it, but we'll damage buildings and we'll kill half the population, which is not really what we're after doing. We'll occupy it. Let's just have a quick look at the building situation. So it's got, you know, things like a church, that's 35, a bower 50, an artillery camp for 80, and a barracks. You see, I'll knock these 2 down, so that'll knock 160 off my bill. I may knock the palace down. I'll probably knock the church down. So you can see immediately in 2 months, I can't do it in two turns time, but immediately that's how we're going to save a large chunk of our money. Okay, nice. It's looking pretty good. I'll leave them there. I think we'll probably end the episode here. I think that was pretty successful. We're going to continue to chase these guys down. We're looking pretty in a strong financial position. We'll see sort of probably when we come back for the next time whether it was worthwhile building our ceramics factory as we sort of see what our per turn income does based on that. But anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this episode, guys. If you have, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Subscribe to the channel for lots more Oriental Empires content, and I shall see you all on the next video.